Most meetings are a waste of time. Most meetings are a waste of time, not because meetings are bad. It's because those meetings don't have an agenda and they don't have a single point of accountability. Oh, we're having too many meetings. No, you're not having too many meetings. You're just having the wrong 5 meetings too many times. By the end of this video, you're going to know the 5 meetings that every business needs and how to set them up and run them. So we worked with a contractor and he was on his game. In fact, this guy was an MBA. We've kind of trained our teams like, hey, when you meet an MBA, you may want to run away, right? Listen, if you're an MBA, hang with me. I'm joking. We can play a little bit. I'm sure you can probably make fun of my shirt or something. All right, so let's go back and forth. Here's what I mean by it. Sometimes we're a little too sophisticated when we come into our business, and there are moments we just need to simplify with what we do. That's what this video is going to be all about. It's just the simplification of this idea of meetings. Because here's what happens. Many times with meetings, we're all or nothing. Is if we start going into meetings and we realize that those meetings are not accomplishing what we want them to do, then we just pull the plug altogether. We run away and we throw the baby out with the proverbial bathwater. Don't do that. The baby's okay. We just need to change the bathwater. All right? So let's work on the bathwater of our meetings and understanding how we can make meetings that actually liberate us from chaos so that we can make time for the things that matter most. All right. So if we look at meetings, I want to give you context before we get into the text of the meeting. Con, I think in the Greek means with, all right? So we're going to go with the things that are around the text to understand it, because I don't want to just talk about team meetings in a vacuum, because you won't understand them. All right, so, and by the way, I think this would be a good time to mention this. If you go down in the link in the description below, I have actually just poured myself out and given you a full masterclass. This isn't just a 10-minute video. I want to warn you, it's a long video. You're going to want to get a snack and a drink and take a bathroom break, somewhere in between, and get a notepad and notes, and I'm going to teach you how to run a construction company. Now, I know you know how to run one, but you get what I'm saying, right? We're going to talk about the entire business, soup to nuts, the operating system, the process roadmaps, the anchor for accountability and repetition, and all of those sorts of things, so you can see a business in full scale. So click on that link below. But I'm going to give you a little bit of a framework right now that I think will help. I want you to think about your business, XYZ home building, XYZ plumbing services, XYZ whatever it is that you do, and I want you to think about it in 3 categories, the whole thing in 3 categories. We think about our body in body, mind, and soul, right? So I want you to think about your business this way: operating system, process roadmap, anchor or culture calendar, this tool that gives us repetition and recurrence around training these other things that are there. What do I mean by that? Okay, the operating system is the operating system of your business. If these tools are not documented, then your business cannot run without you, period. What are those tools? Well, I'm going to give you the categories, because in that video that I mentioned before, I'll give you all the tools step by step. The categories are this: purpose, people, process, and profit. Purpose is the direction of the company. People, who's going to do the work, process, what those people are going to do, and the profit, how we're going to track the fuel in the gas tank to make sure that we can all operate. Then we've got that second category of the process roadmap. This is the map. It's really just a spreadsheet that holds the tens or hundreds of processes that it takes to deliver your product. See, there's a myth in business that says your product is your product. The process by which you deliver your product is the product that you sell. That's what people mean that when they say, hey, what makes you different from so-and-so, your competitor down the street? Well, it's not a product, same product. It's the process by which you deliver that product. And so that's your process roadmap. And then the third tool is what we call the anchor. We used to call it the culture calendar. It's a simple spreadsheet that informs your entire business on when to do your training, when to do your meetings, when to celebrate birthdays and anniversaries and all those little things that we want to remember to do, but we forget, okay? So you've got those 3 categories: operating system, process roadmap, and your culture calendar, your anchor there. With those 3, where do the meetings sit? All right, let's go all the way back to our operating system. In the second vertical, purpose, people. So in our people vertical, we have org chart, job roles, scorecards, all that. And then we have what we call the big 5. Now, when you go hunt in South Africa, you're hunting the big 5, the elephants and the tigers and whatever that you're on a hunt for. Well, in a business, we're on the hunt for the big 5. What are those big 5? Team meeting, departmental meeting, marketing, sales, ops, and admin. Each one needs to have their own. Executive meeting, high level of the business, 50,000 feet, looking over the whole business, just a few people. One-on-one check-ins, that's for every soul in the business meets with their direct report once to twice monthly for 15 to 20 minutes. And then an annual performance review. All right, did you get those? Ready? Team meeting, departmental meeting, executive meeting, one-on-one check-in, annual performance review. Those are the 5 that we're on the hunt for that creates a loop. We call it the big 5 feedback loop. And so a big 5 feedback loop is very simple. Once you have the loop of those meetings set up, and each of those meetings has a defined time, has a defined agenda, and has a defined leader, and the leader does not have to be you. At the time of this recording, our business has a once weekly team meeting, once weekly directors meeting, once weekly operations, or what we call a coaches meeting, and a once weekly marketing and sales meeting. Now, I don't lead any of those meetings except the marketing and sales because it's only 6 months old, and next quarter, I'm scheduled to pass that off to another person that the director who's in charge of our people has already identified that we're going to pass that off to in order to raise up new leadership in our business. You know what that does is 2 things. Number 1, it raises up new leadership, what I just said. And number 2, it allows me to simply be a line item in the meeting rather than running the whole meeting. Because guess what, owners? When you walk into a room, your voice lands differently than everybody else's voice. You can't help it. They can't help it. It's just the way that it is. But if now you relegate yourself to a line item in the agenda, you're not dominating the meeting anymore. And people have their own ideas, their own concepts that are in line and shaped by your vision, mission, values. So as long as your operating system is on par and you've got those things designed, now they can run autonomously whether you're there or not. Just last week, I was on a boat with some friends with my wife. We were on vacation. They live on a boat. They invited us to be there with them. We went. All of our meetings still ran because I wasn't there. I'm just an agenda item on the meeting. And not only that, the decisions they made, and they made big decisions, were based on the vision, mission, values that I have already inserted into the global instructions of the operating system of our business. So those are the 5 meetings. Now, let me give you some principles for each meeting that you're going to need. Number 1, 1 hour. No meeting should run over 1 hour. Your team meeting, no more than 1 hour. Departmental meeting, no more than 1 hour. Executive meeting, no more than 1 hour. Your one-on-one check-ins really shouldn't be over about 20 minutes. And then your annual performance review, not more than 1 hour, not one of them. Well, Scott, our departmental meetings, like our operations meeting, they go 4 hours. Well, that's a problem. That's a big problem. It's why you hate them. It's why nobody likes to come to them. Well, when are we going to have time to talk about all the projects? You know when you're going to have time is when every single seat in that room comes prepared to the meeting, rather than taking the meeting time and everybody else's time to divulge everything that's been going on in their head. So the work has to be done beforehand by every person that's in there so that they come prepared for the meeting. So when it's their turn on the line item and they know you're running quick because you only got an hour, they've got to be ready with what's happening at 3121 Maple Street. Hey, here's the green on the project, here's the yellow on the project, and here's the red where I need somebody's help. That's it. Let's move on. Well, how are we supposed to decode and talk about the specific things? You don't talk about that in the meeting. Does it mean you don't talk about it? No, of course not. It means that whoever's having the problem and whoever can solve the problem get together after the meeting and everybody else can go their separate ways and do their separate things. But right now, for too many of these meetings, you're doing everything in front of everybody all the time and they're taking you 2, 3, 4 hours, and it is a massive consumption of time and money. There's actually a Harvard Business Review calculator that you can go look up, and it will calculate how long your meetings are, how many people are in your meetings, and what their average salary is, and it will actually give you a cost in dollars of the meeting that you just did. You would be blown away at the additional cost of an additional 15 minutes in increments of what your meetings are costing you. Meetings are important, and that's why we're going to keep them boundaried within 1 hour. Now, the other element that you need is you need an agenda. This is super easy. Ready? All I want you to do is hit record on your voice memo app on your phone. That's it. Literally, just put it on the table, sit there for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and I want you to talk out what would be the most perfect, quintessential, amazing team meeting that you could possibly have. And I want you to talk about every detail that would be in that. And then go to AI. I want you to upload what you just recorded into AI and then give it a prompt and say something like this. Hey, a guy named Scott Beebe, here's the video. You can actually reference this video in chat. A guy named Scott Beebe told me I needed to have a team meeting or a departmental meeting. And he gave me some framework around this, but there are some other things that I want in that meeting. I want to celebrate. I want to remember people's birthdays. I want to ensure that we do a deep dive on one project. I want to go back to goals, what we saw last week, just whatever you want to say. And in your prompt, say, take what I recorded here, take Scott's framework. I need a meeting agenda that I can insert into this team meeting that I've got. AI will create that agenda for you. And then you take that, you model it for a month or two, and then you empower somebody else to run this meeting on your behalf. And in this, what you're going to do is you're not only going to discuss what needs to get discussed, you're going to have accountability moments, you're going to have celebration moments, you're going to elevate other leadership, and you're going to have space and time to think about the high-level things that you need to be thinking of. And most importantly, meetings, not only are they not going to be a waste of time, people will actually look forward to them. if you put them in a framework. Make sure you go watch that full scope manifesto video that I told you about, how to run a construction company, because it'll give you that larger framework. I am doing all of this for one reason, and that is so that you can be liberated from chaos to make time for the things that matter most.